Boxing has always been a sport that captivated audiences around the world, but it's only recently become somewhat of a fad. Many well-known athletes and celebrities have been streaming into the sport seemingly out of nowhere, and the most recent of these happen to be a couple of running backs that played in the NFL. We'll be covering their shift to boxing and much more in today's video. Firstly, running backs signed for boxing exhibition. Following in the footsteps of many other athletes, two running backs from the NFL have also decided that boxing would be lucrative and fulfilling way to spend their time. Adrian Peterson and VeonBell are only the latest in a long line of celebrities and athletes that are throwing their hat into the boxing ring. The pair recently signed contracts for a heavyweight boxing exhibition that's set to take place on July 30th in the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles. Neither of the two have ever competed in boxing ring before, so it's going to be an interesting matchup between the two players that have already proven themselves to be powerhouses outside of the ring. Unfortunately though, since the matchup is just an exhibition bout, the fight won't officially mark their pro boxing debuts. However, it will likely rake in a lot of money for both of them. Next, the precedent and the fight. As mentioned before, this isn't the first time media personalities and athletes from other sports have jumped at the opportunity to enter the boxing ring. Just last year in December, another all-pro running back by the name of Frank Gore decided that it was worth his time to participate in an exhibition boxing match. The match was part of the undercard of Jake Paul Tyrone Woodley and another huge YouTuber matchup that would pull in millions of dollars worth of views. The fight must have made Gore realize where his true calling lay, because then he had his pro boxing debut in May of this year, winning the bout in just the first round via a knockout. All of this started when YouTubers Logan Paul and KSI had their exhibition bout to settle beef that the two had, and of course, drive up traffic to their respective channels. That opened the floodgates, and everyone with even a little bit of celebrity status saw that the money that they could make in a novel fight would give fans a look at their favorite star getting destroyed in the ring. That's likely why Bell and Peterson have agreed to fight as the undercard for Social Gloves 2, which is an event promoted by another YouTuber, big surprise, named Austin McBroom. The main event of this is of course between McBroom and fellow YouTuber star Ann Ensign Gibb. Bell and Peterson's fight isn't the only strange novel fight that'll go down at Social Gloves, with rapper Blueface to set down against former NBA player Nick Young on the undercard as well. Lastly, their previous performance and current form. Both Bell and Peterson have previously been the best at their running back positions. Bell recently played with both the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season and was honored as an All-Pro in both 2014 and 2017. In 2016, Bell was responsible for breaking the Pittsburgh Steelers regular season and postseason single-game rushing records. It's clear then that Bell has kept himself in top form over the past decade. To Peterson's credit, he was honored as an all-decade performer in the 2010s and was also awarded his third rushing title in 2015. He was 30 years old when that happened. Unfortunately, both players didn't see much action on the field last season, and it might be why the two are looking at boxing for a second life in the limelight. Both Bell and Peterson are in their 30s and both measure about 6 feet in height. They even weigh in closely at 225 and 217 pounds respectively. Those numbers mean it might just be a very close decision at the end of the bout, though Bell does have a slight advantage in his age. When asked about his boxing regimen ahead of this exhibition match, Bell said he's always looked for ways to keep his body healthy. Boxing has always been a passion for the 30-year-old, and he used it as cardio training when he played for the Steelers. When he took some time away from the sport in 2018, his passion for the sport only grew stronger. That might just give him a bit more of an edge against Peterson, who is much less acquainted with the sport. Even now, as he preps for his fight against Peterson, Bell claims that boxing is just a way to keep up his stamina. Instead of doing a lot of drills, he opts to undergo boxing training. Now, in other news. First up, Aussie Champ's legendary performance. Prior to last Saturday, most people probably wouldn't have known who you were talking about if you mentioned the name Jay Opetaia. After that day ended though, Opetaia became a household name thanks to his performance in his boxing match against Maris Briedis. When the bell sounded, 27-year-old Opetaia became the new IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world. The bout lasted just 36 minutes, but it was enough to send him into Australia's boxing history books. What an amazing bout the fight was. Besides the fact he became a new world champion, is that he went 30 minutes of it with a broken jaw. Persisting through that kind of injury and taking home a title belt is nothing short of a Herculean task, and it's what proves that Opetaia is cut from a different kind of cloth. And Opetaia was really born for boxing, coming from a long line of boxers on both his mother and father's sides. In his father's line, he's a 4th generation boxer, while he's a 3rd generation boxer on his mother's. With that kind of history propping him up, it's no wonder that Opetaia pulled off what he did last week. And this isn't the first time that he made a splash in the sporting world. At just 16 years old, he competed in the 2012 Olympic London Games as part of the Australian team, making him the nation's youngest Olympic boxer. Whatever is next for Australian, we're sure it's going to be amazing to watch. Next, former former jailbird trains next generation to box. In the small suburbs of Mbar in Zimbabwe, a gym by the name of Mosquito Boxing School of Excellence is garnering a lot of buzz, thanks to its namesake. No, it isn't named for the insect, but for the man who gave them the nickname by the fans thanks to his performance in the boxing ring. The reason why it's getting so much attention is because of the owner's dodgy history. Zvenyika Erafonzo is a former Commonwealth and Africa Zone 6 boxing champion that was nicknamed the Mosquito because of his small frame and ability to take down larger opponents. Unfortunately, Erafonzo's career ended in 2000 when he was caught stealing a neighbor's radio. That's why he set up the Mosquito School. He didn't want to see young kids in the same circumstances he was in when he was their age turn to a life of crime. Erafonzo grew up in a poor family, and a neighbor offered him the chance to train at their gym. Now, Erafonzo is looking to lend that same helping hand to other children in the hopes that they avoid a criminal lifestyle and a road of self-harm. If those kids focus on training rather than the easier route of criminal activity, they could turn into world-class boxers and make a life for themselves that way. One of his prior students has already made their professional boxing career, facing his first opponent in 2017. Erafonzo's story is one that can resonate with people around the globe. It's a story of second chances and of the importance of giving back to your community. We hope that Zvenyika's Mosquito Boxing School continues to thrive and give young children a better shot at life. Last on the list, Hearn uncovers sabotage plot. Eddie Hearn is a promoter for English-based Matchroom Boxing. After signing with streaming platform DAZN, Hearn has set up multiple boxing events in America under the name Matchroom USA. As a part of those developments, Hearn has also signed a number of talented fighters that are based in America to Matchroom Boxing. It makes sense that the industry leaders in America would be a little spooked by Matchroom's expansion into the US, but Hearn has now claimed that they are actively trying to sabotage Matchroom. The four rival promoters that Hearn has accused are Leonard Ellerby, Lou DiBella, Bob Arum, and Steven Espinoza. However, he wasn't deterred, saying that what he's experiencing in the US is what he's already felt back in the UK, which is resistance from the already established industry. His response is the same now, which is that he isn't going to conform to what the industry in America asks him to do. He emphasized that he won't pretend to be someone he's not, and that he's still going to approach the industry as he normally would. And that's a wrap for this video. Do you think Bell's bout with Peterson is going to live up to the hype? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. See you in the next video.